my husband and I started a pest control business here in Pennsylvania about 2011. Just he and I in the dining room, as most stories start. And since then, we've evolved to 9 technicians, a salesperson, 2 office people, and our revenue last year was 2.3.
Way to go. Good for y'all.
Yeah,
well done.
We're proud, and we got good people.
Good.
We have really good people, and trust me, that doesn't happen every year. Right now, I can say it, knock on wood.
Amen.
Well, my question is, and I think I've noticed a bit of a shift since COVID, but I'm having a hard time navigating what employees are expecting in the way of benefits, specifically in a small business climate. What is a reasonable amount of PTO for my people to expect?
Well, I mean, personal time off is sick time and vacation time combined. And,
Right.
in a small business, depending on how long they've been with you, we start off with a couple of weeks and it goes up to 3, 4, 5 weeks over time. Somebody's been with me 20 years or whatever. So it does, they build that. But, our experience has been depending on the age group that you're dealing with, they view this differently. Is that what you're running into?
I certainly am. I mean, I'm at the old crotchety age of about 60, and certainly, folks that are younger have different expectations. We give them an employment letter that states the tier on, where you are with 1 year, 2 years.
Well, what do you give them? What do you give them at 1 year?
So 1 year, we're giving them 5 days. They just walk through the door. They start with this. They'll have 5 days for that year to start.
And then the next year, what?
10.
Okay.
And then the next year, 15. And then when we hit 5, we're at 20.
Yeah.
And so I've always and I've raised that over the 15 years that we've been in business. That's been adjusted.
So what is what's the pushback that you're getting that's caused you to ask the question?
I'll tell you what, I've got, a small group here, less than half of my folks, they're using their PTO in the first 6 months of the year. And then they're continuing to request time off the last half of the year, but they say it's not paid time. So they feel as if that's an acceptable thing to expect. Now,
no, it's not. I hired you to get a job done.
There you go.
And if you don't get the job done, I don't need you.
Okay. Well,
I'll give you some time off without pay. A lot of it. Infinite amounts.
I think that every day, but I don't say it, Dave.
Yeah.
But
no, we've had that conversation lately too. We've got, as you know, we've got over 1,000 folks, and there is a group that we're running into that is running through the PTO and then coming in and requesting the exact same thing. And our policy has been only if there's a medical emergency. Otherwise, you just need to be at work. We hired you to work. And we need a certain number of hours of production out of you a year, and that involves 5 days of PTO or 10 days of PTO. And if you can't give me that production, and just because, I'm going to go on vacation now that I've run through my PTO, but it's unpaid, so you shouldn't be concerned. No, I'm concerned. You're supposed to be at work.
Yes.
It's a problem.
Yes, couldn't agree with you more. Yeah.
And that's not old and crotchety. That's just called owning a business.
Well, yeah, the work's got to get done, whether or not you...
So what I would do is say to them, look, what if half the people in the company did this and just didn't show up? I didn't have to pay them, but none of the work got done. So I wouldn't be able to pay them. Hello.
That's right.
So this is a dumb butt idea. Kind of defeats the purpose of having a job.
I've declined a request, and he's requesting a special meeting. And I'm concerned it's not going to go well.
Yeah, it's not. He's going to get fired.
Because I need people to work.
Yeah. No,
and when the heck did paternity become a thing?
Yeah.
Because now I'm living that. And back in my day,
now you and I are both old and crotchety, okay? There you go.
Now I had a baby. I went to my own doctor's appointments. And guess what? My husband took a couple days off.
You sound like my
wife. Somebody had to pay the damn bills.
You sound like my wife.
He's got to go to work and he's got to pay the bills. But these guys in this
Sharon's
day and age,
memory was I drove by, saw the baby, and went back to work. That was her memory. Didn't happen, but that's her memory. That's how she remembers it.
Well, the mortgage isn't getting paid by itself.
Hell no. By time, by life balance. Yeah.
And so some of these folks that I'm talking about, that's, I've already agreed. They burned through their PTO, and I said, listen, baby's a big deal. I'm going to give you another week unpaid,
there you go.
Just because I said, I get it. So that I get, but I've given that, and I'm still being requested more.
Now, let's just everybody understand that me and Denise, if the baby was sick, it's a whole different answer.
Whole different thing.
But I just want to go home and change diapers. No, you're going to have to get your work done.
No. And, I've had an employee that was hospitalized in and out of the hospital for a month. He came back a month and a half later, and he had his job.
Yeah.
That wasn't his fault. He was ill.
Yeah.
He's a good man, and we took care of him.
Yeah, and in that case at Ramsey, we probably continued to pay him. But on the other hand, I want to go on a hike. I want to go on this real special hike. I've always wanted to do it, and so I'm going to take unpaid time. No, you're not. Just take a hike. Just take a hike. I mean, that's it. We're done. I got your fishing trip. Yeah, you better get the commercial license so you can make a living doing it. So, yeah.
The difficult thing is,
it's seriously.
Employees.
The other thing that we're doing now, the thing we're doing to preempt this now is we're doing a better job at onboarding, explaining this is not going to happen. So before it even comes up, like when you first start your job and we're bringing you on, we're saying, okay, here's how we do things. We do not do unpaid time off.
Right.
Okay. If you have a crisis, we're probably going to give you what we call grace period, which is where we pay you while the crisis is going on because we love you and we want to take care of you. You just 100%. Want to go on a hike, you want to go on a fishing trip, and you burn through your PTO. Sorry, it's not an option. The only way you get to go on the hike is you don't work here anymore. So take a hike. That's only because, and we tell you on the front end that that's what's going on. So
it's on their employment letter. I put it in writing.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
So then you're going to have to make an example. And so when this difficult conversation comes up, you're going to have one less person and everyone else in the building is going to know Denise is serious about this PTO policy.
Yes.
Yeah. Because you're going to hold to it and just go, I'm sorry, honey. I'm not trying to be mean. We have work to do here. The pests don't get controlled if you're not here. This is a pest control company. And so we need you here to control the pests. And if you're not here, regardless of whether you're getting paid or not, we can't control the pests. And that's a problem. You're a technician. That's what we do. And so the work's not getting done. The customers aren't getting served. We don't make money. No one's winning. And you're off fishing. That's not okay. It's not a plan. We're not doing that. This is grown-up time now. You're no longer in high school. You no longer get summers off. Your mommy isn't doing your laundry anymore. And you're now a grown-up. So it's time to do that. Time to step up. And sometimes, Denise, they exit. And we have to go, well, that was a bad thing. We didn't do a good job when we hired them. Because if we had hired them properly, they would have known all of that and they wouldn't have ever even asked. So I've got to do a better job communicating it, not just in writing, but verbally. And I've also got to communicate it by holding to that standard and saying, no, doesn't work. You can't just not come to work. That's not okay. Well, it's not unpaid. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You got PTO. You knew that when you came in. You knew what the package was, and you're going to live within that. It's pretty dadgum simple. And Denise and I are not just being crotchety. We're actually trying to operate a freaking business, not a kindergarten. That was crotchety. Okay, it's a new management technique. I'm going with it.